welcome to the first vlog episode of Gaming Insurrection with Editor-in-Chief Lindsay Mosley. And I decided I wanted to talk about myself a little bit and my favorite games of all time, just to do a little vlog series for myself. And just a little bit about me. I'm 30 years old, and I'm the Editor-in-Chief of Gaming Insurrection, which is my baby. It's my project that I came up with 10 years ago. Actually, it'll be 10 years next year. When I was in college, I came up with it and decided I was going to do a quarterly gaming publication that focuses on retro games. I've been playing video games for 22 years. I started when I was about 7 or 8 years old. And my first game ever was, I think, WrestleMania on the NES, because that was what my brother chose. He bought the NES, so he was the man with the money, so I couldn't really say anything about, you know, you can't buy this for me and, you know, make me play it. So the next game after that I played was Super Mario Brothers, and then like Double Dribble, Bases Loaded, Contra. I played Super Contra, actually. It was Super C. And then Duck Hunt for myself, because I had the Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. So I've had a long time I have a long list of games that I've been playing. The number of systems I have right now I have an Xbox 360, a PlayStation 2, Super Nintendo, an NES, Game Boy Advance, a Sega Saturn, a Sega Dreamcast, PS1. I used to have a DS and a DS Lite, and I had a Wii. I did actually have a Wii. I've never actually owned the PS3 because they were too expensive. And so I was just like, you know, I can't afford this, so I'm not going to buy one for a while. And I've been supposedly saving up the money. I know $300 isn't that much money, but when you're, you know, working adult and you got taxes to pay, that's a lot of money. So anyway, just a little bit about GI. If you guys haven't watched any of our videos, Gaming Insurrection is a retro-focused publication. We print every 3 months, and we have an online focus and presence. We're on Twitter at Gaming Insurrect. That's Gaming, and Insurrect is INSURRECT. We also have our website, which is www.gaminginsurrection.com. You don't have to put www if you don't want to. And we do podcasts, and we try to do videos, and we have like the Gaming Insurrection show, which you can see here on our YouTube channel. And I mean, we basically talk about video games, and that's pretty much what we do. We talk about video games. It doesn't matter if it's past or present, but really we try to focus on past stuff. I enjoy retro gaming a lot, and I came up in the era of when Mario was king. That's why I wanted to talk about my favorite games of all time. We're going to be doing a feature on this in a couple of months, probably sometime next year, or maybe 2013, because we already have our issues planned out from now until the end of 2012. So maybe 2013, this is when Greatest of All Time issue will come up, and, you know, we make our decision and say what we're going to do. So my first game that I really I think is one of the best games of all time is Super Mario Brothers 3. I mean, that was just like when Mario was king. He was absolutely king. I remember going, and if you've read our All About Super Mario Brothers issue, I can't remember the exact quarter that it ran. I want to say it was fourth quarter 2008. Don't quote me on that. It might have been fourth quarter 2009. I don't know. I seem to recall it being 2008. But anyway, we did a All About Super Mario Brothers issue, and I remember saying I did recollections for all of the Mario games, and Mario 3, I remember saying, you know, I went to Blockbuster back in the day when there were Blockbusters, and I got a copy. I tried to get a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 to rent, and they had none in the store. None. Absolutely none. Nothing. And the guy that you know, was helping me was like, "So, little girl, would you like to play something else?" And I'm like, "Well, you got Super Mario Brothers 2, I'll take that." Because I'd never played it before. So I was like, oh yeah, I'll take that. So that's actually how I got started playing Super Mario Brothers 2. But eventually I did get a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3. I rented it, and then I got it for my birthday when I turned 10. And oh my gosh, Mario was... I sat there for hours just playing through the game. And I would always... Eventually, when I first started out, I couldn't get past World, 2. And then maybe about 6 months after that was World 3. And I always, even now, I have certain patterns that I do with Mario games. Mario 3, in World 3, I usually skip 3-8. I skip level 3-8. I skip level 3-8 and I try to skip the ghost house. I actually prefer 3-7. 3-7 is my favorite level in the entire game. And actually, I take that back, not in the entire game. It's probably my favorite in World 3, but my favorite level of all time in Super Mario Bros. 3 is level, I think, 4. I want to say it's 4, 5. It's where you go in the doors back and forth, and it makes you large and small, and the enemies large and small in correlation to you. But yeah, I love Super Mario Bros. 3. It was the end all be all for me. So the other Mario game that's really one of my favorites is Super Mario Brothers, the original, on NES, Super Mario Brothers 1, if you really want to get down to it. So you can imagine Super Mario All-Stars is one of my favorite titles on Super Nintendo because it combined everything for me. Super Mario Brothers was another one I talked about a lot at school with the other kids my age, and we would trade tips back and forth, and anyway, Super Mario Brothers, huge, it was huge at our school too, because Mario, that was all we knew about Mario at the time before Super Mario Brothers 3 came out, because we didn't really get Super Mario Brothers 2. Most of the kids didn't really get it. It was what is this? This isn't Mario. He's not fighting Bowser. Who is Wart? What is that? Why is he pulling up vegetables? And why are these things walking around with masks on? And it's crazy looking. But I enjoyed it. But Super Mario Brothers was what we knew. That was what we knew from Mario. And so when you said Mario, people immediately said Super Mario Brothers. That wasn't until 3 came out. And that was when I realized that when we started talking about Super Mario Brothers much later, that it's in my top 3 of all time for video games, because I enjoy playing Super Mario Brothers. Even right now, as a 30-year-old woman, I can sit down and play a game of Super Mario Brothers and be happy. I can be happy. The controls are tight. If you screw up, you screw up. It's not really because something else screwed you up. It's just I enjoy playing. It's simple Mario at his best, and that is what I really like about Super Mario Brothers. There's no suits. There's no whistles. There's no planet rotating things. You don't have to go and run up and grab Bowser by the tail and throw him and all this. You don't have that. You have Mario Brothers at his best, and then it's simple. That's all you need. All you got to do is get Mario from point A to point B. That's it. So I can say I'm a huge fan of Super Mario Brothers. It's easily in my top 3. And the other game that I wanted to talk about is Super Metroid on Super Nintendo. I'm a huge fan of Samus. I'm a Samus Aran fan. So much so that if I could have ever worked with the Metroid Database, who's also on YouTube, and you can go to their website, metroid-database.com, I would have done it, because I love Samus. And it's the thing, I don't even really like the original Metroid, because it was too rudimentary, and it needed a little bit more upgrading for me to be able to sit down and play it. I'm not one of those ones that enjoys running around and getting stuck in places because I went somewhere I wasn't supposed to. I mean, I love the exploration part of Metroid. That part I love. I love discovering things and figuring it out for myself, and exploring with weapons and stuff. But I just didn't like the fact that I didn't have a map. I need a map. I'm one of those ones, I needed the map. and I needed a HUD to tell me what kind of weapons I have. Because, I mean, I'm going to forget between, now and then when I picked up a password. So, I didn't enjoy dying very quickly in the beginning either. So, when Super Metroid came out, I didn't know anything about it. I had never heard of Super Metroid. Never heard of Metroid in general. My brother had. He played Metroid, but I just wasn't interested in that kind of thing. Sci-fi is not my thing. But I have respect for Sigourney Weaver and Ripley. Ellen Ripley of Aliens. I love that character. She's just really awesome. So when I discovered Metroid and saw that the character basically was based off of her, I was like, okay, this is awesome. And the first time I played Super Metroid, I was 13 years old. And it had come out previously that year. And I was in like the 8th grade. And I got a copy of it. My brother sent it to me. And was like, here, play it. He sent me 2 games for Christmas that year and was like, here, play this. And I was like, what is this? Never even heard of Super Metroid. Oh god, this is going to be terrible. I got that in like Clay Fighters Tournament Edition. Because he went to Blockbuster and they had them all on sale. So he was like, I'm going to send my baby sister some games. So, he was 23 years old at the time. So, yeah, he was like, whatever I play, my baby sister should play. So, I played it, and I immediately got lost. Couldn't figure out what I was supposed to be doing. Had no idea where I was. Nothing. I knew nothing about the game whatsoever. Nothing. And then, slowly but surely, I picked it up, and I went back, because I was playing on someone's save file. And I was like, okay, you know what? This is not going to work out very well. Let's go back and we'll start our own save file. And a friend of mine at the time, she was my wing woman. We played through the game together. She would guide me where I need to go, and she'd be like, hey, look at that wall over there. You think that should be bombed or something? Because she liked the character as well. So I was like, hey, let's try it. And so we went through from the beginning. We learned out about how the weapons worked, because I got no manual with the game. What's the problem? I had no manual that didn't tell me anything. So I even forgot how to use bombs. I had picked up the bomb and couldn't figure out how to use it whatsoever. I was like, how do I lay a bomb? So, because I did it accidentally once, and then realized later on, oh yeah, that's how you do this. But so eventually we played through, and by the time we got to the end of the game, we had like 10 hours worth. We had 10 hours worth of playtime. So of course you're not getting the good ending whatsoever. So we went back and did it again. But by the time we got to the end of the game, the emotional journey was just like, oh my god, we got to the end of this game. Of course I died at Mother Brain the first time I did it, because I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. I knew that I had to shoot her, but she kept taking off a bunch of damage. I didn't know, hey, let's screw attack through this and save yourself a lot of damage. And then I got lost getting out of the maze at the end, which is classic Metroid. So I died. I blew up with the planet. But eventually, we went back and did it again, and we figured out what we were supposed to be doing. So I was like, yes, we're going to see us a bathing suit. And we were so excited. The time that I got was 2 hours and I want to say like 50 minutes. I had 2 hours and 50 minutes. The threshold, if you know anything about Metroid, the threshold in Super Metroid for getting a good ending is 3 hours. So I went back and we did it again. I played through Super Metroid now. I have to go back and play through it constantly. But I played through it, and my best time ever is 1 hour and 54 minutes. I've gotten it down to 1 hour and 54 minutes. I can't get it under that without cheating. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later with another episode.